Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Dial It Up. And today we are going over the tiny size ability. So the tiny size ability is denoted by the damage symbol down at the bottom there, and that is the symbol of an atom with a little person inside. So tiny size can be found in a pack down with combat abilities, and it's near the end there. So tiny size, modify this character's defense by +1 against ranged combat attacks. Pretty academic. Anytime that they are being shot at, they're going to get +1 to their defense. Much like if you were shooting through hindering, you're going to get that +1. Now this combines with any other modifiers. So if they are sitting in hindering as well, they'll get +1 to their defense for being tiny size, +1 for being in hindering, and if they have any other modifiers, up until the rule of 3. And the next part is a friendly character that is larger and adjacent can use the carry ability to carry up to 1 tiny sized character regardless of other combat symbols. Does not reduce its speed value for doing so and can continue to use the carry ability if it can normally. Alright. So, what this means is that anytime a tiny sized character is next to a bigger character, so that's pretty much any other damage symbol. So the standard starburst is a standard size figure, or the giant size figures, or the colossals. Anytime that tiny size is next to a character, they're gonna say, hey dude, I'm hitching a ride. Hop on their back, whatever. So now when they're using that character or carry, there's a couple of things that come with it. The first is being that they don't modify their speed. So they're still going to be moving at full speed or whatever speed they're moving at. They just don't have to have that -2 from using this part of carry. And they can carry up to 1 of these characters regardless of their combat symbol. So there's actually a couple of tiny sized characters that have come out. Off the top of my head, we've got Shrinking Violet, we've got the Superman action figure. Those are characters that have the flight symbol, the wing symbol, and which grants them flight, which normally you wouldn't be able to carry, but because of tiny size character carry, any tiny size character that's being carried, they ignore their combat symbols. So if they are tiny, they have the wing symbol, they can still be carried through this version of carry. I'm going to say carry like 100 times in this video. And then the final thing is that if that character can use carry normally, they can still continue to use carry as if nothing happened. So we've got Cap carrying a Hydra recruit for some reason. He's going to carry the Hydra recruit, and Rocket's going to come around along for the ride. And then from there you follow any other carry rules. So if they had super strength and they were carrying an object, they couldn't be carried. And they still have to be adjacent to activate the carry, and they still have to end adjacent, so on and so forth. So the one thing to note, a couple things, is that the tiny size, it's not actually part of the ability, but just of the size of the carry. The character itself is that they are smaller. When a character is smaller, they do not block line of fire for a character that is bigger. So if the Hydra recruit wants to shoot at Cap Falcon here, he can, because Rocket's not going to block line of fire. Rocket is smaller. So another thing with the fact that they can carry if they could already carry otherwise is that tiny size characters can carry other tiny size characters as long as they can carry. So what I mean by that is what I mentioned, like Shrinking Violet and the Superman action figure. Those are characters that have carry from their flight symbol, for the wing symbol, and they are able to carry normally, so they can carry another tiny size character. So the one last thing, and I'm not even sure how to classify this or define it because the rules team themselves haven't been actually defining it, is that the tiny size ability carry apparently isn't a source of carry. It's something that came up with the vehicle rules, what I mentioned last week, is that a vehicle that has 0 next to its passenger can't use carry regardless of the source they're getting it from, but they can carry a tiny size character, which would lead us to believe that the tiny size ability that grants carry seems to be some different form of carry. So I don't know what other figures that say they can't carry that tiny size will allow them to carry. But that's something that's just kind of in there. I'm going to keep pushing the rules team on it. Everybody seems to kind of be like, doesn't make sense. So take this as you will. This isn't part of the official, hey, I'm giving you guys rules. I'm just kind of letting you guys know that this is something that's out there, and it's something that we're all kind of keeping our eyes out for. So that was tiny size ability, and if you guys have any questions, comments, or you think there's anything I didn't go over, just let me know down below, and we'll see you next time for another episode.
Married with Clix is brought to you by Majestic's Heroclix sales down in Costa Mesa, California. Right now, they're in the middle of storefront change. In the meantime, don't forget to check out their eBay store. If you check the link down below, they always have great Heroclix stuff at fantastic prices, and they'll ship just about anywhere.